Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Vanessa. I'm a mom of 3 and I am on a weight loss journey using WW Blue Plan. I am down 40 pounds so far since January 7th, which was my start date, and I have a goal of another 28-ish more. Today, I am going to be showing you how I get these beachy waves, a different version than last time. What are you doing, Ray? And I am also going to be answering my most frequently asked questions with WW from my friends, my family, people on Instagram, etc. So if you'd like to hear those questions, get those answers, go ahead and keep on watching. Go ahead and get started. So for my hair, I am using 2 different tools today to get this done a little quicker. For the underneath part of my hair, I'm using my 3-barrel. Taking it back old school. I love that these things have gotten popular again. We used to use that in like middle school and I loved them so much. So I'm just doing that on the underneath along with some heat protectant. So basically, like, one of the first questions I get asked so much about WW, probably the very first, is the plan expensive? And I guess it depends what expensive is to you. To me, I don't think it's expensive. I pay roughly $20 a month, and I do digital only. I have done digital only the whole time. Now, if you want to do the app plus go to meetings, that's where it gets a little more expensive. I think you're looking closer to around $40 a month, if that's kind of what you need to do, which for me, I don't know. I don't care to go to meetings. I don't feel like I need the meeting aspect of it. I can kind of hold myself accountable. But if you don't feel like you can, then it might be best to do meetings just for that added support. I think the app itself has so much come on, Vanessa, get your life together. So much support as is that I'm okay. Like, I do okay. So, I don't really think it's expensive. Plus, when you are on WW, you can send people your link to sign up under you, and that gets you a free month. So far I've gotten like 4 or 5 free months. And if you are interested in using that link to get started with WW, I'll put it down below. Obviously, don't feel obligated to use it. You do not have to in any way, shape, or form, but it helps me out, it helps you out, all that good stuff. Second question I get a lot is, what happens if I don't eat all my points? So if you don't eat all your points, basically you can have up to 4 roll over into your next day. And those, I guess they don't roll over into your next day, they roll over into your weeklies, which your weeklies are allotted points that you can use to cover your like meals out or a splurge meal, or you can eat a little extra every day. They're there for you to use. You don't have to feel bad about using them. You just have to play around with them and see what works for you. Like, I can't eat all my weeklies. I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before. If I eat them all, I do not lose. So, like, real talk, last week, my best friend, who's lived in Florida for the past many years, finally moved back. Not for a good reason. She unfortunately had health issues and she lost her vision, which is awful in every way, shape, or form, but because of that, she has a lot of help here. So they moved back to Indiana, where we live, and she came and stayed with me for a few nights last week. So of course we are enjoying every bit of that. And we had margaritas one night, and I probably didn't accurately track that. We ordered Mexican food. And then Saturday, me, my husband, and my brother-in-laws went to Holiday World, and I ate ice cream there, and I had part of my husband's funnel cake, and we had fast food for breakfast, and, you know, all the stuff that just kind of adds up a little bit. So, I mean, I probably actually ended up eating even more weeklies than I have. But I come to realize that with all my points, if I eat about half of them, then I'll still lose weight. But if I eat any more than that, I'll probably just maintain. But for someone who gets less points than I do, you could probably start by eating all of your points and still lose. And many people do. But I am a nursing mom, so I get 41 daily points and I get 35 weeklies, which is a lot of food. Like some days I struggle to eat that much, so I have to include a lot of more healthier fats into my diet, avocado, olive oil, stuff like that, just to put some points in there and not have to eat junk to use my points, because obviously, I mean, it does matter what you put in your body, I think. Doesn't matter what you eat. Like, can you use 41 points on McDonald's? I mean, sure, you can. And if you're staying in your points, you can absolutely lose weight. Do I recommend that? No, not really, because the point of WW having 0-point foods is so that way it encourages you to eat more healthy, more whole foods, because fruits, vegetables, chicken, lean meat, seafood, stuff like that is 0 points. So it helps a lot to eat healthier when you have those options. But I mean, if you want to eat McDonald's all day and use all your points on that, you could probably still lose weight doing so. So that's the good thing about WW, is it is not restrictive. Like, no food is off limits. I do not have to cut out my carbs. I do not have to stop eating fast food. I do not have to quit eating pizza. Like, obviously I've found healthier ways to eat pizza, my 2-ingredient dough, which that video I will link below if you're interested in it. Okay, so yeah, I got that done. You know, just stay within your points and you can really do whatever you want, but try to obviously make healthier choices, because WW isn't a diet, it's a lifestyle change, and it's just kind of one of those things that it teaches you healthier eating. So even if you don't want to track your food for the rest of your life and you just want to learn healthy habits, I feel like it's a great way to start, because now I've kind of learned what a real portion is, and that's what it's all about. It's about portion control and eating all foods in moderation, because for me, I can't just cut carbs and then call it a day and lose weight, because the second I start eating carbs again, I'm done. I'm gaining all my weight back, because my body just, it doesn't know how to handle that. And it always kind of like, I'll lose weight like that if I got rid of carbs, but they come back just as fast when I start eating them. And I personally could never, ever, ever, ever go my whole life and not eat bread, and go my whole life and not eat pizza and only eat the toppings or something. No, that's not me. So I know that I needed to make the lifestyle change and not just, you know, a quick fad diet. I needed to learn healthier eating. I needed to learn portion control, because everything you eat, you know, it's about portions. You know, you can eat a little bit of ice cream, don't eat the whole thing like I used to. How did you come up with your goal weight? So for me, my goal weight, I set it at 150. And I've said in the past that my highest weight, I did get up to 237 pounds when I was delivering my youngest daughter, Mia. And that is the most I've ever weighed in my entire life. Ever. I'm 5'3", so at 237, that does not look good on me at all. Now at 150, for being 5'3", that's probably still doctor number high. I'd probably still be considered overweight. But 150 is also, I haven't seen that number since junior year of high school. So that, I feel like, will be a very maintainable weight for me. I don't want to set a weight such as like 120 and get that low and then have a terrible time maintaining that, because I haven't been less than 140 since my freshman year of high school when I met my husband. And then another question I get a lot too is how much do I average losing each week? So when I started WW, when I went from eating whatever the heck I wanted to actually eating healthy and good choices and all that stuff, I lost like 6 pounds my first week. And, you know, I had probably a lot of water weight at that point. We were eating a ton of fast food. We were eating delivery twice a week. I was just, because of my unhealthy lifestyle, I was exhausted and tired all of the time. So I did not want to cook at all. Plus I was working and 3 kids, new mom of 3. I was adjusting to going from 2 to 3 kids, and which honestly isn't that bad, but it was just a lot. So yeah, that first week I lost quite a bit of weight because my body's like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, thank you for feeding me good things. And after that, I probably averaged 1 to 2 pounds a week. And now I'm almost 7 months into my journey, and I average like a half pound a week. But ever since COVID, I haven't been exercising regularly. We were going on walks a ton with my kids, and that kind of helped me with my plateau a little bit. But it is hot as Hades here. Like, it is 95 degrees. You can't breathe when you go outside, and I don't want to. So I'm trying to get better about it. I'm trying to force myself to take my kids out on walks and stuff like that, but it is hot. And I know I shouldn't complain because people in like Florida, it's probably way hotter than here, but I mean, 95 degrees is 95 degrees and it's no fun. So yeah. And then our state just started mandating masks everywhere you go, which I understand. I get it. But for me, I do not want to work out with a mask on. Like, I already can't breathe as it is, being so out of shape. So I don't know. I haven't got myself to go back to the gym since they started that mandate. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I will go back there or not. I have a Planet Fitness account right now, which I like it. It's a nice gym, but it's also 25 minutes from my house. So that right there is kind of excuse enough where I'm like, oh, I don't want to drive all the way there. So then I give myself reason to not go, and I shouldn't. So I actually think I might cancel and join a gym that's like 5 minutes across the street. Granted, I would be paying a lot more to go there, but I mean, I think it'll be worth it in the end because I won't be spending so much on gas to drive back and forth. And I also, you know, won't have as much of an excuse. I won't be like, oh, I don't want to go because it's so far away. I'm going to be like, okay, well, now you don't have a freaking excuse. Get your butt in the gym. So another thing that I get asked a lot is about coffee, because I know a lot of moms out there like me. You enjoy your Starbucks. Everyone, we all do if you're a coffee drinker. But some of those drinks, when you go to actually track them the first time in the app, you're like, holy cow. Like, holy cow. You realize how much sugar is in them. You realize, you know, all that stuff. And I feel like it's easy to quickly just be like, okay, that is something we have to change. So I started with the Profi, which is very well known in the Weight Watchers community. It is 2 shots of espresso, but for me it was 3 over ice in a venti cup from Starbucks. Or if you make it at home, which is what I started doing, that's why I bought my Nespresso machine. That, along with the fact that a lot of YouTubers I watch had an espresso and it just looked so delicious coming out of there, so I had to get me one, which I love. It is like my top-notch investment, I swear. It is worth every dollar of those pods, because they're about $1 a piece a pod. But what I tell myself is I spent $6 a drink like every single day at Starbucks, sometimes twice a day, because when I would get home from work and I would have to take my daughters to dance or gymnastics or go grocery shopping, you know, you're beat, you're tired. So I would go a second time for a little pick-me-up. So now I just make it myself at home most of the time, unless I'm on the go, and then I'll still stop at Starbucks maybe once every 2 weeks or something. So yeah, I started with that. 2 or 3 shots of espresso over ice in a venti cup and add a Premier Protein. Any flavor. They're all pretty good, and it makes it taste like an iced coffee. But sometimes you still, like, it's still not the same. So what I started to do is what I have shown in my videos in the past, which is I use coffee cubes, brew my coffee over the coffee cubes, and then add my favorite skinny syrup, which I have tons. I keep trying to add to my collection. I'm on the hunt for a few more from Marshall's, which I know you can get them at their website and all that, but I just like to go to Marshall's and get them. So I do that. But yeah, so add your favorite skinny syrup, and then that sugar-free creamer from Coffee Mate, the Italian sweet cream. That is the only sugar-free creamer I will use. I do not like any of the other ones at all whatsoever. I don't like that sugar-free taste. I don't even like the sugar-free syrups from Starbucks. Like, I feel like even they have a weird taste, and I don't like cinnamon coffee, and I don't really care for vanilla coffee either, which are their only 2 flavors of sugar-free. So skinny syrups are my go-to. I love them. And when I add those with the creamer, I add a little bit of almond milk, and voila. I'm going to knock my hairspray off. It is the best dang iced coffee. I think it tastes better. Yeah, honestly, I think it tastes better than Starbucks. Because, you know, it's always hit and miss too. Like, you have to make sure you order your drink the exact same way every single time, or it will not be the same every single time. So that's one thing I learned. But yeah, so that's what I did to replace my coffee. And now my coffee, depending how much cream and milk I use, is I mean, roughly 0 to 1 point, give or take, which is great. Like, it's great. Another question I get asked a lot is, what do you do for quick lunches? So, like, food prep, stuff like that, people who work. Now that I only work 1 day every 2 weeks, I don't quite frankly have to worry about my lunch because I just make it real fast at home. But when I was at work, it was a struggle. I was like, crap, what am I going to take to work with me? Because I worked right next to Kroger. So, I mean, I guess it can be a good thing in a way, but in another way, most of their stuff that you can eat in 20 minutes or less, which is all I got for a lunch break, is not healthy. So I'd go over there and go to the deli and I'd get me some fried chicken, or I'd get a fried crispy chicken sandwich, or a fish sandwich, something like that from their hot box usually, and I'd grab it real fast and go. Or sometimes even salad, but even their salads for WW are not the most point friendly things, because there's, you know, full fat cheese, there's full fat salad dressing, stuff like that. So I had to really start getting creative. I'm like, you've got to do something, because you cannot keep eating out for lunch or eating out all the time, because that was my weakness. That's, I feel like, had a lot to do with why I gained so much weight, was a lot to do with work. So, you know, I'm a hairstylist, and obviously I've said that so many times. My husband made fun of me for my first video because I said I'm a hairstylist like 20 times. But if you know, you know that, you know, we get so busy sometimes, and the only time sometimes you'll even get to sit down in a day is to pee. And, you know, your lunch break, for us, it was a strict 20 minutes. Like, 20 minutes, hurry up, get back on the floor. And you're stuffing 2,000 calories of food sometimes in your mouth in 10 minutes. And you're not caring what it is as long as it's food, because you're so hungry. So that had a lot to do with it. So I started to where basically my healthy dinners I was making more of it. So if I was making chicken and roasted veggies, I'd be making double that, so that way I could food prep the rest and take it to work. For breakfast, I was food prepping breakfast burritos, wrapping them in foil, putting them in the fridge, and then when I got to work, I would take a paper plate or something with me, and I would heat it up in the microwave. Thankfully, we did have a fridge and a microwave at work, so I could heat up my food. Now, if you don't have those things at work, I guess it could get pretty tricky. You might have to really get creative with that. But that's just what I did. So a lot of times it was just leftovers, and I would call it a day. And if I didn't take leftovers and I had to go to Kroger, I would just try to make the best choice I can make. But usually leftovers was it. And then even sometimes I was going to Starbucks and getting like the protein box. And basically everything in that box is 0 besides the cheese and the little bread with the peanut butter. So even with that, it would probably only be like max 10 points, which for me is not bad. For other people, I know that can be way too many points. So my biggest tip is just to food prep. Like, get it done, food prep it. I know it can take a while. It can take a while to get everything food prepped and get it done that, you know, the way you need it done, and make sure you have food done. But those couple hours of your Sunday or whatever are going to make a huge difference in your weight loss, because then you can take your food. You don't have to worry about spending extra money out. It's done. All of that. So yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do my makeup off camera, and then I'll be back. So I believe that's about all the questions I have that I can come up with right now. If you guys have any for me, leave them in the comments. I would love to do another video like this if you guys are interested. If you have any care in the world what I used on my face, I use this foundation, Clinique Even Better. It is good stuff. I use the Maybelline Fit Me setting powder in Fair Light. Butter bronzer for my face. This stuff smells amazing. Better Than Sex mascara, thebomb.com, and highlight on my eyes. And that's about it. So if you guys like this video, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you would like to see more content like this. It really helps me out. It's going to help me build my channel. And until next time, look in the mirror. Remember, we got this. I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.